Hello there, I am back. And I thought I would just open up your imagination today. So, what I'm holding here, I want you to think about how you can use today. So I want you to think about your goal, what you really, really want. And then I want you to make a drawing out of it. So I'm going to give you a bit more instructions, but I want to read from a book called U Square by Price Pritchett. And I want to actually read from his The Quantum Leap Strategy, this book. So I'm going to read from page number 14 in that book called Rely on the Unseen Forces. And I was studying it this morning. And when I study something and I get really excited about it, of course, I want to share it. I want to share this information. But something I've also discovered with this information that I teach, not something I discovered, but when I got into this information, I discovered that I had to discover it for myself. And then it becomes more powerful when you discover it for yourself, because our whole life, we're told what to do, where to buy things, what's cool and what's not. So, when I'm going to read this chapter today for you, The Unseen Forces on page 14, I want you to think about that you are your own chemist and you can find your own solution to what you want and you will discover it for yourself. And this is kind of an experiment that you will do for yourself until you say it doesn't work. So this is you who's going to discover something for yourself, if it works or not, and not rely on other people's opinion, what they think about things. So let's get started. This is so good. Okay. Maybe you heard or read something about the unseen forces phenomenon, but have never explored it personally. Most people, in fact, never really use this invisible source of tremendous power and value. It's typically it typically lies dormant, like a computer or a TV that isn't turned on, or a telephone no one has charged. Medical research and physical studies have, or psychological studies, have reportedly documented the effectiveness of techniques such as these. But you may remain skeptical about the whole concept. That's fine. Just be open minded enough to run your own experiment. And that's kind of so important. Don't rely on what everyone else are saying. Figure it out for yourself. Go into it like a scientist. Find your own proof. It might help to think of yourself as a receiving set. You have to turn into those unseen forces. Get on the right wavelength. And there is a simple process to follow in doing that. You start the process when you write a clear and concise, very specific description of your goal. The unseen forces need to know what you want to do. That goes for everything. We want something, we need to know what it is. We need to get clear where you're headed. So the unseen forces needs to know what you want to do, where you're headed, what you're trying to achieve in your quantum leap. Now, with this crystal clear picture in your mind, add this 12-minute quantum leap ritual to your daily routine. So, are you willing to set up 12 minutes in your day? Or are you going to say, I'm too busy, I can't do that? Like life is controlling me and I have no control? Or are you going to demand 12 minutes for this project we're going to do together? Are you going to do that? Are you willing? 12 minutes. Get still, relax. Draw a picture or symbol of your goal. And that was the meaning about this, like pens or colors. So draw a picture or a symbol of your goal, of what will represent you square. Just sketch it out in a notebook, personal blog, or a daily like calendar book. What he's saying is it doesn't matter what it is, just do it. Action is key. If you have a photo or a picture of your goal, or more that symbolizes your goal, lightly trace around the edges of it with your finger. As you do this, imagine yourself being there, having accomplished your own quantum leap. Then read your goal out loud to yourself. Make sure your objective is started in the affirmative, as you have already achieved it. Mentally, picture you square. Keep this visual in your mind for 10 minutes. Just hold it there, thinking through such details as how its success will feel, sound, taste, smell, or look. Bring the results of your quantum leap alive in your mind with all the little specific details you can think of. Let your five senses work on it, on that. So your five senses is what you can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. I'm going to repeat what you can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. That's your five senses. And your six senses will be working with the unseen forces. This is how you turn in your this is how you turn on your receiver for these phantom powers. The last step in this 12-minute ritual is to write down in your notebook one or more insights, ideas, or action steps that comes to you. If you come up blank, just quickly jot down whatever floats through your mind. Then write, I'm making a quantum leap. I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm open to the unexpected. Just scribble that down in your book or calendar. Then date it. Always write these things down to close out the quantum leap ritual. So this is the book, and it's actually from, there's the other, it's the workbook to the quantum leap, like, I mean, U square. And here's the thing, like, to move forward, to get new thoughts, to get new ideas, we have to do things differently. We have to think different thoughts. We have to switch up things and believe that we can do that and not be hard on ourselves in the process. But as I was studying this book, I got an interesting story that came into my mind, just many stories, in fact. But this morning, as I was reading this, that I was just reading for you guys, I was thinking about the son to my daughter. So he's visiting where I live right now, and he has made a decision for some time now that he wants to move to Norway. And he's declared that to the universe. It's very clear. He doesn't want to live where he is now. He wants to live in Norway. That's his goal. So he's changed the language on his phone. He started communicating in Norwegian. because he wants to be here. This is the best place. And he is getting emotionally involved with it. He's seeing himself live here. He's also saying to the people that he trusts, this is my goal. I want to live here. So last week, my sister called, and this was interesting. And she said, you know what's happening? The government has decided to build a road, a massive road outside of our house. And what that can mean is that they have to move because the government will maybe take over where their house is, or it won't be possible to live there. um, and if you think about this little boy, his goal, his dream is so powerful that sometimes we can't see what happens or how it's going to happen. But it sounds like it's happening for him really fast because he's very emotionally involved. It sounds like they have to move here now to Norway. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I want you to start thinking and gather evidence. Is there times in your life that you've done something similar than that? I have certainly. My last post here on LinkedIn, I believe, I posted about me singing live as a 16-year-old girl in front of the whole of Norway. How did that happen? It happened exactly the same way as Price Pritchard was explaining. I didn't know that that was what I was doing at the time, but I draw a picture of myself on stage singing. And I got emotionally involved with it and I took action. I started singing, I started practicing and rehearsing daily. I also got a training with the voice coach who taught me how to sing. And I took action. The thing is, I wasn't waiting. I was emotionally involved with this. I could feel myself there. So my action was to start learning songs, different songs, and finding out what's the right song for me. And when I found the right song, I was singing that song over and over and over again. Now, that's my story. That's how I did it. That's how I reached a goal. Now think about you. Think about things you've done in your past, how you reached different goals. If it was a job you wanted, if it was a person you wanted to date, if there was a place you wanted to go to, if there was a house, whatever. Start gathering those evidence and start doing this project and make a decision on something you can do. So, anyhow, I wanted to share this because this is also from my workshop that I did last week too, where we were talking about goal setting because there's a science to getting what you want. It is actually to get really clear on what you want and get emotionally involved with it and repeat it over and over again. So I just wanted to share this with you guys and wish you a beautiful Tuesday. I love you all. Bye.